with individual point of sale, and I want to welcome you to this short video on processing a refund to a credit card. Before we get started, I want to take a look in settings under payment processing, assuming Lightspeed payments, and you'll want to make sure that your allow credits is turned on. If it's not, like our setting here, when we go to make a sale and we process that sale, we'll save that miscellaneous charge for -$1, which is basically returning that transaction. We'll hit the payment button, and notice my credit card button does not show up. It's not available. So if we go back to our sale, we just jump out of this sale real quickly, go back to settings, go to payment processing, and we enable allow credits, and we save our changes. We go back to our sales option, continue our sale. So that way we're just right back in the middle of that transaction. We go to our payments, and now our credit debit button is available. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cancel this sale. And first things first, we're going to go ahead and sell an item and pay it to credit card. So when we do, we'll just go ahead and ring up a miscellaneous item to minimize the amount of the transaction. We'll go ahead and save that dollar transaction. You have two options. You can either just click, and this again is unique to Lightspeed payments only, these two quick pay buttons down at the bottom. You can also use your payment button and you will have credit and debit cards available there. Otherwise, if we just go right to the card, we'll be able to process our transaction. Because our terminal was selected previously, I'm just going to go to my terminal, tap my card, and the transaction is approved. We'll go ahead and finish the sale, and I am going to print that receipt. I'm going to select I have multiple printers set up, so I'm going to print to my receipt printer, and when I do, I will get my receipt and just set it aside, because we're going to start our next sale and we are going to return that item to the credit card. So I'm going to take my scanner. While my cursor is in the item search control box, I'm going to go ahead and scan the barcode on my receipt. Because that barcode starts with a 22, it knows that I scanned a receipt and not an item, which starts generally with 21. That's the system ID, starts with a barcode of 21, or a UPC or some other custom SKU that you might have a label for. So now that it pulled up that receipt, I can go ahead and select refund, and it's going to set that item as refunded under the refund tab. And I'm just going to go ahead. Now notice once I select my payment button, because of my settings, which I will show you, because of my settings, the only option that I have is to refund it to a credit card. And now notice I said a credit card, because once you click credit debit card, it's going to ask you if you want to refund it to the card that you used or if you want to refund it to a new card. We're going to go ahead and refund it to the card that the transaction was paid on. So when we do that, it automatically knows to go back to the card with those last 4 digits, and we're going to go ahead and hit the refund button. And once we do, it will refund that transaction to card ending in 8472. And that's it. We're finished. You can reprint the receipt if you want to. I'm going to reprint the receipt for financial purposes. And we will go ahead and take a look at that payment type setting. So in my settings, under payment types, my credit card, will notice, is set to refund as credit card only. So if I want to give it other options other than credit card, I would have to say all options, meaning, oh, I get to choose which form of payment I select at the point of the refund. Okay, so you can do that for each payment type. Credit and debit cards can be separate. Debit cards normally are set as cash, so they are refunded as cash. Um, Now let's take a look at, let's go back to my sales and let's pretend that somebody is returning something in your store and they do not have a receipt. You don't want to go through, maybe your policy is not to go through and track customers and so that you can pull up the receipt at a later point. So you're just going to go ahead and refund it as a what we call a receiptless return. So as we start the new sale in Windows, while you're on this screen, you can hit, if you notice by going back to your sales tab, you can hold down the Alt button on your keyboard and hit the letter R to put it in refund mode. Since I'm running on a Mac and I struggle with the Mac function keys like Control, Option, Command, I'm going to just click refund, which does the same thing and puts me in a refund mode. So at this point, we are doing a receiptless return and we're going to process a return for the miscellaneous item for $1. We're going to make sure it's non-taxable. And we're going to go ahead and save that. Now, as soon as I select payment, notice, of course, the burnt orange payment box because it signifies a refund. As soon as I select credit debit card, it's going to pull up the box and confirm the terminal, which was already selected from my point of sale station. And once I click start payment, it's going to pop up and tell me the refund needs a card present to continue. So you cannot perform a receiptless return and card not present with Lightspeed point of sale. It's going to force you to have that card present. So once you continue, it's going to go directly to the terminal. Otherwise, you would have to back out and issue store credit or some other form of payment. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. So again, you cannot process a receiptless return with a credit card not present. That card needs to be inserted or tapped in order to process the credit card. Keep in mind, since you don't have a receipt, the system does not think that you had a previous credit card attached to it, obviously. So it's going to allow you to choose any card that you want to put that transaction on, that return on. I hope this answers your questions, gives you a little more insight on returns and processing to a credit card. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our support team at helpdesk@individualpos.com or feel free to call us at 570-906-8598, option 3 for our support team. Also, feel free to review all of our other videos that we have in our YouTube channel pertaining to Lightspeed R and X series. Thank you for joining me and have a great day.